Hey, how y'all doing? Today we're going to be talking about Hellfrost, the Atlas of the Frozen North. I want to show you this book because it's really pretty and it's really big. What you have here is the entire continent of Rassilon in the Hellfrost world expanded upon greatly. You did have some basic information that was originally produced in the Atlas, the Hellfrost Atlas, that gave you sort of maybe 1 to 2 page blurbs and snippets of the different realms and how you encounter them. There were a large series of PDFs that were produced that expanded on each and every one of those. This is not just a collection of those PDFs. I had most of them. I've done some cross-checking. There's a lot of new material here. Stuff has been polished, it's been unified, and it has been expanded upon greatly. One of the things I love about this book is the maps inside are beautiful full color maps, and they're very pretty. They look different than your standard D&D map or your standard fantasy map to me. So, like, I'm looking at one right now of the Cairnlands. It's got the hills, the mountains, the forests. It just looks really nice overall. One of the only complaints I can leverage against it is that I don't see much of a scale on these, so I don't know how many miles or leagues you have to travel. But, that's minuscule, in my opinion. With each entry, what happens is you get a very pretty map with all the geography, important sites, cities, ruins, sites of interest for adventurers, etc. You get a small inset map of where it's located in the overall Hellfrost setting. From there, you also get the population, how many people live there, how many of them are Saxa, how many of them are Anari, Elf, Dwarf, Engro, etc. You get the ruler of the land, if there is any, the religion that predominates there, the different gods, and finally, what they import and export, which is a lot more than you get in most other setting stuff. Like imports and exports, I thought were a very nice touch. Expanding on it from the material contained therein, you have the rules of the realm, which are one of the few spots of Savage Worlds specific rules for this book. This is almost a rules-free book. Now, why you would want to use any other system to run Hellfrost, I'm not entirely sure, but let's say you absolutely love Dungeons & Dragons at 5th, and you love the setting, but you want to run your D&D 5th there. I'm sorry, Wiggy, I had to say it. So what could happen then is you could take your game, throw it in here. You'd be missing some of the nuances, like the Hellfrost effect, like the siphoning of magic, but still it would work. If you just wanted the setting, you could add in your own system. Social hierarchy, who rules, how easy it is to rise or drop in social ranking. Education, religion, and military. Major locales, and finally, if there are any major cities or other sites of interest, it gives you a map of them, which I think is kind of cool. So it's sort of like it gives you ideas for dungeons contained therein. Now, as I said, these are minimal stats for each and every one of these. So you could import it into another system. I wouldn't. I think Hellfrost is a great setting and I'd want to use it for this. One of the things I think is the most impressive and unique, if I can qualify that phrase of if there's another one, I just don't know it, is this is a hell of a lot of material for a world that was conceived of and entirely written by one author. Unlike, say, Greyhawk, The Realms, Dragonlance, where you have these different pockets that have been developed by different authors over the years, this is entirely the vision of one person, Wiggy. And so it's very unified. It's put together, things click well, there's no varying descriptions of what the Ice Reach Mountains look like, which I think is important in case you have players who like to get pissy about that sort of thing. This is an essential if you are playing in Hellfrost, if you're just a fan of Hellfrost. I can't imagine using the setting without this book in hand. You could, but I wouldn't want to. I've always thought Hellfrost was one of the most interesting fantasy settings I've seen. It's dark. It claims to be heroic fantasy, and it is, but it's pretty dark because it's winter is coming and it's never going away. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better phrase to do. Actually, it's snowing right now when we're filming this, which is kind of cool, as I'm talking about Hellfrost. There's the ever-impending glacier that keeps moving downward. The sun is dimming. The warm seasons are getting shorter and shorter, and the winter is getting longer. On top of that, the monsters are on the rise. On top of that, magic has gone haywire, and now if you roll poorly on your casting roll, you can have the very essence of magic sucked out of you if you roll crappily, which means wizards and clerics need to sit on a Benny at all times to get out of that trap. I love this book. Truly, I do. I was very excited when I got my hands on this. I've gone through it. It's beautiful. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a great setting, and it expounds on those lands greatly. What I don't know, and this may happen, it may not, is would the Arabian Nights section of this world, Land of Fire, because you have the Frozen North, you have Land of Fire, if that will get a similar treatment. I just don't know. I know there have been realm guides expanded on from there as well. Finally, growing outward from there, there are hints in Realm of Fire about another continent or another location on the map, which seems to be an Oriental Adventures type of location. So it's interesting. We'll have to see how this plays out for Rassilon. Have fun gaming, everybody, and at the time of this filming, Merry Christmas.